because they were bottoming out on some of their streets, and they built the $300,000 fire trucks and didn't get it.
He's having our driveway widened because he,
Well,
at the top of our driveway, it's wider, and it's just back right down the grass. And we have bumps like no joke.
Crestwood Drive.
Okay, next is E, the fire department's like road project information. I mean, there's going to be a lot of change, especially on our end with the National Cemetery, the interchange. And I know the township gets information before we get it. We like to know for planning purposes, like 6 months ahead, that roads are going to be closed for 6 months or 2 years. And we also want to talk about sometimes emergency egress for the fire service. And that'd be the time to do it in the planning stages where we might be able to get an extra gate off like Baker Road, Morgan Road onto the interstate. So if we could get involved in that process, that's all we're asking for.
Which reminds me, are they still working on Rising?
No.
No.
No, we're not working today, the signs are gone, the machines are
When I stopped and talked to the crew last week, with the exact words they told me is they said there's going to be some days we're going to still be working on it, and others we won't. And I said, can you notify the township? And the only response they give me was, we'll notify them in the morning what we're going to be working on, which really doesn't tell us. No, it doesn't. Oh, and I know they're actually working on Grange Road too, when you overpass there, but they're allowing traffic through. But Rising is being shut down.
Are they notifying the control center? If they notify the control center, they could send us an email saying, hey, they're working on a road, I know, hey, I can't get through that.
I've actually gone and watched them. The biggest problem they're doing when they're shutting it down is they have a small JLG up there. I think if it was an emergency where somebody had to get through, you could get through.
Okay.
Where they won't let the average traffic through.
Okay.
It might take them a minute to move a JLG or something, you know what I mean? But I don't see them actually having. It's a man.
it's on 4 rubber tires that move
And what I see them doing is they're replacing some plates up there, diaphragm plates and gusset plates, and some bolts and rivets and stuff that are being burned and replaced. So it looks like they're just doing work out of JLGs. I mean, the road is shut down to traffic, but I think if a vehicle, an emergency vehicle had to get through there, I think you could do it really with very little difficulty.
I came down and talked to Don Januso about that, and he says the emergency apparatus will be able to get through. We are aware of that, with the emergency apparatus.
Miscellaneous issues?
That can help us out, your guys can help us out at that point also, because you guys are always on the road too. So maybe your guys can get to that area and say, we're gonna have other equipment.
That's good.
So,
Yeah, especially.
so your guys are, so like your guys are always gonna be there first.
Even like 50 and 980, that's
Right.
good.
Right.
Just let them know.
Right, yep.
We'll make arrangements for that.
Yeah, that would be,
And most of us monitor your channel.
Yes.
So if your guys get there and they see something, just tell them to get on here and advise the fire department we have. Because I noticed this from the past. We had a good rapport with our police department. We're having a good rapport with our police department over here. Where I directly talk to them. Because waiting for Washington Control to tell me what the policeman said, I heard him on the radio say so. And when I got it back from Control, it was totally different than what they said. And I went, somebody got the translation.
I talk to Sean about that quite often. Since we changed the frequency, when they narrow band us, that frequency is not in the radius.
Yeah, but they can still, I monitor police. They can call us on their channel, because I monitor police on our truck. I also monitor in my personal vehicle. If they wanted to call and say, hey, I can hear what they're saying.
Sean, so you have room for our channel in your
I
cars?
don't really answer that because you worked on the radios.
You have room in your, yes, you have room in your any program.
Yeah.
What we have to do, we'll just come up with a list of frequencies on the fire side. That the
Yeah,
police should
our
have.
channel can be programmed, you've got all kinds of room in your radio.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, I mean, all this is a programming issue, right?
That's all it is, it's plug it in, program it.
I know you guys, Crystal Sound does it, but wasn't there somebody else that can do that for us?
Yeah.
From the fire departments?
Bill.
Hey, there you are.
But do not let that out, because
On there.
we'll be far from Crystal South.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Don't know how to do it. That's, you can stand behind me, guys, it's all good on the button.
Well, I can't be far from Crystal South because I'm a
You're a light.
I'm a light, I'm a freeman. I send him a bill every time I do something. Freeman.
Under miscellaneous issues, the fire department